Welcome back to the Cyclone Fanatic Halftime Show presented by the Iowa Pork Producers. We love pork at Cyclone Fanatic, and we're so thankful for their continued support. I'm your host, Leah Nelson, alongside Chris Williams. We're in the Wild Rose Casino Studios. Iowa State is leading Arkansas State 31-0, and this seems like, Chris, you're the happiest I've ever seen you in a halftime show.
Well, we haven't had good ones so far. Yeah, I mean, and Iowa State gets the ball to start the third quarter. Not that that really matters, but no, this is a total rout. And so, I thought Iowa State would handily win this game, but I didn't see this, 31-0 at halftime, and they've just completely dominated across the board. They completely have shut down Arkansas State's passing. There's no passing game at all. I mean, this quarterback, and he just got benched, Jalen Raynor, their starter. 2 interceptions, 5 of 16. And then you go on the other side, and also worth noting that Arkansas State has not been able to run the ball at all, averaging fewer than 2 yards per carry. And Iowa State can do whatever it wants offensively, averaging 5.5 yards per carry. And Rocco Beck didn't play very well in the first quarter, missed some throws, but man, I don't know what else you could ask for. This is a butt whooping. And Leah, this will give us exactly what we wanted to see in the second half, where hopefully they can play some backups and that type of thing. And I would also say get this thing over with as soon as possible because it's hot out there. I'm guessing the crowd's going to dwindle out and, don't risk injuries. Just milk this thing and get the next week to start Big 12 play.
You know what else is hot? Our sponsors.
Yes, let's get it. Let's get to it.
Oh, yeah, let's thank some of our sponsors. We have Carl Auto Group. They've been a sponsor of Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network for nearly 10 years. They have locations in Ankeny, Webster City, Stewart, Story County, Marshalltown, Glendon. You can count on Carl Auto Group to serve all of your vehicle needs. Make sure you visit carlautogroup.com today. And also, big shout out to Central State Roofing. They have been a locally owned business for 56 years and counting, specializing in commercial projects with offices in Des Moines, Ames, and Fort Dodge. So make sure you visit csroofing.com for more. They rock.
The good people. Shout out to my guy, Ryan. He's been a huge supporter of what we're doing here for about a year now. A couple of guys just want to point out that I've been really keeping an eye on. First of all was Jalen Travis, the offensive lineman from Princeton, who we have not seen yet this year due to injuries in fall camp. Did not get the start, but did come in, and I think it was the third series. He looked really good. I don't think he'll play a ton in the second half. It's just I think that he's a guy who what he is. Get him a few series and just get him acclimated to the game and have him ready for the Big 12. Leah, I wanted to watch the linebackers. That was a thing for me. And they look really darn good again. Mm-hmm. Cooper Ebel and my guy, Caleb Brazina, and then Jack Sadowski, like that, really a dominating performance behind that offensive line. I'm starting to think with that group, I just don't know when they're going to get tested. It might be because – no disrespect to the University of Iowa, but not exactly an offensive juggernaut over there. You get Houston next week. It'll probably be that Baylor game on October 5th before that group really gets what I would call a creative offensive coordinator going at them. So this is really a best case scenario, I think, for Iowa State when you're working in these young guys, because they can make mistakes out there, but they're athletic and good enough against a team like this, and hopefully next week as well, where they can go back to the film room and really, really learn while you're still winning football games. I love this group. There's just no depth, but I absolutely love this group. That's kind of what I got circled because I really wanted to watch those guys. And, man, they are – you watch 9 and 47 and 44 and that's a freshman or 2 freshmen and a sophomore. It's like, damn, like those guys – 9 – Brazina looks like one of the best young linebackers I've ever seen at Iowa State. He looks like a young Jake Knott, young A.J. Klein. They remind me of Mike Rose out there. They are freaking really, really talented dudes.
That's why these games are so important, because these younger kids can play fearless and not be so scared and worried that if they make a mistake,
Absolutely.
Lose the game. So I think it's important to have these games here and there, and it's good practice going into Big 12. So I'm excited.
Well, and a sneaky important half here, just in the sense too, because we talk about depth. Well, they're down 4 linebackers right now.
Right.
The team is. So what if one of these guys would go down? It's terrifying, but it's possible. Let's see what they got behind them here in the second half a little bit, because you're one play away from one of those guys going down, and you got to peel back, get some walk-ons potentially. So we'll keep an eye on that in the second half. See what John Haycock elects to do. Yeah.
Well, how does Iowa State continue this momentum into the second half?
I don't know if they will. And the reason I say that is because this is, I don't know, maybe they'll go out there and really want to put on a show with the second string guys. They will go out there in the third quarter with the starters, and they'll give them like 2 series. And then I bet you money that they will just try and run the clock out and just get out of here without injuries. And I don't know if that's a bad thing.
No,
you can see it. I haven't really seen what the weather's going to do. I know that they're expecting weather to come in here later today, but it's super windy out right now, and it's hot. Like the sun's really hot on the stadium, and I think you run the risk of like cramping and all that crap. And I don't know. That's a pretty big 31-point explosion right there that was aided by defensive turnovers, no doubt. This wasn't an all offense thing. I don't know. I would be surprised if they have 60 points in the scoreboard when this thing's over. I bet Matt Campbell sits on the football as much as he can. We'll see.
Hey, I agree. Let's come out with a win. Healthy players.
Yeah.
It'll all be good.
And I think it's worth noting is Ryan makes a point, and I agree with him, that Travis makes the line better. And no doubt. Like, I mean, we knew that all offseason. It was just, that's why it was like, man, if you could be 2-0 without him, that's a highly encouraging fact. But Houston, Iowa State's next opponent, lost 34-0 today at Cincinnati. Right when you were starting to think Houston,
right,
starting to figure things out a little bit. So, you go on the road next week, and anything can happen on the road. First road trip to Houston since they've been in the Big 12, so there's a little bit of mystery there. But like, this is a deal where it's really exciting. This is fun. Like, if you come out of here with a super convincing win, which you're going to, and then if you can get one next week and do what you're supposed to do, that Baylor game on October 5th, you're looking at a top 15 ranking going into that game. And, this is cool. Like, it just doesn't happen very often here. They've played winning football under Matt Campbell. The program's been consistently where it has been, and that's been really good, and it's the best era in the history of Iowa State football. But the amount of weeks spent in the top 10, that type of stuff, like, it's just rare. It doesn't happen here very often. So I hope people enjoy it. Soak it up, enjoy it.
Yep.
It's a fun time. Like, I've done this long enough to know, like, there are lean years, and there will be more lean years in the future. Enjoy this while it's good.
Oh, we'll enjoy it. We'll enjoy it no matter what, Chris. Remember, optimism.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah. Wait until halftime of West Virginia when the Clones are down or something, and I'm losing my mind. No.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll know how to handle it, so I'll soak this up as much as I'll get it. But thanks again to our sponsors, Iowa Pork Producers, Carl Auto Group, and Central State Roofing. You guys can tune back in for our post-game show after this next half. So
sounds
thanks,
good.
Chris.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all
watching.
watching.